Two faces, inches apart, eyes closing, breath held. And then contact. You've done this, maybe recently, maybe today, and you never once stopped to think about what you were actually doing, because here's the thing nobody tells you before you do it for the first time. Pressing your mouth against another person's mouth is, biologically speaking, insane. You are exchanging saliva. You are exchanging bacteria. You are exchanging whatever the other person had for lunch, and you are calling this romantic. Now here's where it gets uncomfortable. Anthropologists studying human cultures across history found something that should stop you cold. Roughly 10% of documented human societies never developed romantic kissing. At all. Not as a taboo. Not as something forbidden and whispered about. As something that simply never occurred to them as a thing bodies should do to each other. Entire civilizations. Thousands of years of human connection, courtship, love, and no kissing. Meanwhile, somewhere else on the planet, it became one of the most universal, most obsessed over acts of intimacy a person could perform. So, what is it, really? Why does one culture build songs, poems, entire religions of romance around this act, while another looks at it and recoils? The answer isn't romantic at all. It's older than romance, older than language. And once you understand what your body is actually doing when you kiss someone, you will never do it the same way again. Let's start with what you think you know. It's affection, right? A sign of love. Something soft. Something instinctive. Wrong. Or at least dangerously incomplete. Here's the first crack in that assumption. If kissing were a hardwired universal human instinct, or like flinching from fire, like recoiling from a snake, every human culture on Earth would do it. Every single one. That's how instincts work. They don't skip continents, but they do skip continents. Historical and anthropological surveys, going back over a century of field research, have documented dozens of cultures across Africa, the Americas, and the Pacific Islands where romantic sexual kissing simply wasn't practiced before contact with outside groups. Some of these cultures found the concept genuinely repulsive when they encountered it. Not shocking, not scandalous, repulsive, like watching someone eat from another person's mouth, which biologically is not far from what's actually happening. Here's the number that should make you slightly uncomfortable the next time you do this. A single 10-second kiss transfers up to 80 million bacteria between two mouths. 80 million. Your mouth is not a sterile, romantic little chamber. It is one of the most densely populated microbial environments on your entire body. And you are opening the gate and letting someone else's colony walk straight in. So why would evolution, which is ruthless, which does not waste energy, which does not reward pointless risk, allow this? Why would natural selection let millions of humans across thousands of years walk straight into a bacterial exchange program? For fun. Unless it wasn't for fun. Unless it was never about romance at all? Not originally. Unless kissing started as something else entirely. Something with nothing to do with love and everything to do with staying alive. Go back. Not centuries. Millennia. Before agriculture. Before villages. Before anything you'd recognize as civilization. A mother kneeling by a fire, chewing food into a soft paste. And then, mouth to mouth, passing it directly into her infant's mouth. This wasn't affection. This was survival engineering. Infants can't chew. Infants can't digest raw, tough, fibrous food. So for tens of thousands of years across countless early human populations, mothers pre-chewed food and delivered it mouth to mouth. Anthropologists call this pre-mastication, and it wasn't rare. It was standard practice for early Homo sapiens. And it's still documented in some indigenous cultures today. Now, sit with that for a second. The first time a human mouth ever touched another human mouth with intention, it wasn't romance. It was a feeding mechanism. It was one of the earliest acts of trust a human being ever performed. Mouth-to-mouth contact meant one thing to an infant brain, encoded before language, before memory even fully formed. This is safety. This is nourishment. This is someone who will not hurt me. That imprint, mouth contact equals safety and trust, never fully left us. Some researchers believe romantic kissing may be a cultural and evolutionary echo of that original bond. An adult brain reaching back into an infant-coded circuit and repurposing it for something entirely different. But feeding alone doesn't explain everything. It doesn't explain why kissing specifically involves close-range breathing, why people instinctively inhale near a partner's face, why, without realizing it, you are gathering information the entire time your lips are occupied. Because you are. You're running a scan. And you don't even know it. Here is the part that changes everything. Deep in your immune system is a set of genes called the Major Histocompatibility Complex, MHC for short. These genes control how your body identifies threats, fights infection, and builds resistance to disease. And critically, every person's MHC profile is different. It's like a genetic fingerprint for your immune system. Here's where it gets strange. Your body can detect someone else's MHC profile through scent. Studies going back decades, including the famous sweaty t-shirt experiments, found that people consistently rate the body odor of MHC dissimilar partners as more attractive, not less, more. Because a partner with a different immune profile than yours means potential offspring with a broader, stronger, more diverse immune system. Better odds of survival, better odds against disease. Your nose, in other words, has been running a genetic compatibility check on every person you've ever been attracted to. Silently, constantly, without your permission. And a kiss, a close-range, deep inhale, mouth-to-mouth encounter, is the single most information-dense way to sample that signal. Saliva carries hormonal data. Breath carries scent, compounds tied directly to your immune system. Proximity lets your brain cross-reference all of it in real time. Think of it like this. Every kiss is a biological background check, a security scan disguised as a romantic gesture. Your body isn't asking, do I like this person? It's asking a much older, much colder question. Is this person's immune system different enough from mine to be worth the risk? You feel butterflies. Your DNA is running diagnostics. So think about that. The next time it happens to you. The next time you lean in. The next time your eyes close and your breath catches. Remember that you are not just performing an act of affection. You are running a program that is genuinely older than your species' ability to speak. A program built on an infant's trust in a mother's mouth. A program refined by millions of years of bodies quietly screening each other for genetic compatibility, dressed up as chemistry, dressed up as romance, dressed up as butterflies. You didn't invent that feeling. You inherited it from a mother chewing food by firelight tens of thousands of years ago, from a nose sampling immune signatures without asking your permission, from a species that built its most tender act out of one of its oldest survival tools. So, the next time you kiss someone, and you will, ask yourself the question your body already answered a long time ago, silently, before you even knew you were asking it.